Hello, everybody. I'm on a coaching call with Paulina, but is it 7 days ago?
Yes, last Monday.
Yeah, last Monday. We did a hypnotherapy transformation session. Paulina's been working with me for a bit, so I thought we would take this opportunity to just ask some questions, put you on the spot, right? So you're on the spot here, about what that experience is like. And the purpose of it is really because people don't understand what it's like to go into hypnosis, what the outcomes can be, and how you're feeling. So I don't know what you're going to say. This is completely random. But let's start. Let's delve right in. So thank you for doing this. So what I want to do is I want to take people on a journey of what the experience was like before, during, and afterwards. And obviously, we've known each other for a little while before you came and did this, so that trust was already there. But given where you were at, can you just tell me a little bit where you were at and describe your expectations and motivations leading up to delving into having this hypnosis session?
So yeah, thank you for having me. So I was always interested in hypnotherapy. I've never had a hypnotherapy like I experienced the one with you. It was something that was the first time, and what my expectation was to help me get more motivated to actually find clarity, because recently there's a lot of changes that are happening around me, and I feel that I need that clarity. And as we probably all know, we have to go within to find that clarity. But sometimes it's hard, and we need someone who can guide us through the process, to lead us to find the answers that we have inside of us. And that session was that was the aim for me, to discover the answer that I was looking for, how I can find more clarity. And yeah.
So that's really interesting because I forgot I didn't even introduce you. So Paulina, we'll do it in a minute. So this is Paulina anyway. She's a yoga teacher, a breathwork teacher, an amazing human being who you already do the inner work, right? You already do the inner work. You're constantly doing the inner work. What was it? What did you find? What was the thing that the experience? So can you guide anybody who's watching this through the experience of why it was powerful, why what you understood, why you felt that you needed to go through that? Because I think a lot of people have got these misconceptions about hypnosis, and so you said that you needed a guide, and I will agree with you, right? I've got my own coaches, I'm doing my own work. You can't see the label from inside the bottle, as I say. What was the pivotal thing that you made that decision to take action on doing that deep dive? What was it you couldn't fix on your own?
So as you said, I constantly work with clients, and I constantly discover something about myself through every session that I have with the person that's in front of me. However, we don't go that deep in terms of, for example, with the hypnotherapy, I went back to my childhood memories and the moments that things kind of started shifting, or maybe they triggered some kind of behavior. So I've experienced a lot of chaos in my life, and I don't come from a chaotic background. My parents were still married. I had a pretty good upbringing, but there's something inside of me that was creating that chaos. And during this session, I was able to see what was the reason, to understand it better, to bring that, I would say, a new level of awareness, to actually see things from a new perspective. That's my aim, to see things through a different lens.
And when you see that new perspective, what does that give you? Because the only reason I ask that question is that when a lot of people think of therapy or even coaching, they think that somebody's going to tell them what they should do. So what was the awareness? What was the shift in awareness that's helped you move on? And how do you feel now about knowing what you didn't know before? And what has that given you?
So for me, when we talk about healing, it always starts with awareness. And then when we find that awareness, we go into the truth. And what I talk about the truth is, who is this talking? Like, is it me talking? Those are my parents talking. Whose voice is telling me what is the truth, and I'm trying to find my own truth. So this new level of awareness is allowing me to see things from a new perspective in order to have a new understanding and to change, because I have that power inside of me to change. Obviously, I can say to myself, hey, don't be that chaotic, don't be that, all over the place sometimes. But it doesn't work on the surface level. You have to understand where is it coming from in order to see the pattern, to break that pattern. So if that was my defense mechanism, now I can be more aware and say, okay, why am I afraid? Who am I afraid of? Why am I creating chaos? And why is this chaos helping me? Right. So there's a new level of, I would say it's a deeper level of understanding. It's a new layer that we are peeling, because we are like onions. We're peeling a bunch of layers, and we go into the core. Hopefully before we die, we are fully enlightened.
So what I'm hearing is the difference between kind of doing affirmations, or the difference between kind of talking about something, is that new awareness of the thing you didn't know now gives context to the feeling, now gives context to the thought. Therefore, it's much easier to change the behavior because you've now got context around something that you didn't know, and that old program that was trying to help you, you recognize isn't helping you. Therefore, you can literally reprogram your mind yourself now and empower yourself to move forward, because you know that that's just an old story that you didn't know before.
That's correct. And I think what really helps, it's your recording, that you send people the recording and you ask them to listen to that recording. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people are listening to meditations before they go to sleep, or affirmations, but it's not the same because it's not their experience. It's someone else's recording. So that's the biggest impact that you're going to have on yourself. When you listen to yourself and you listen to your experience over and over and over to reprogram, so the change is lasting and it's permanent, instead of a quick fix of saying I'm wealthy, I'm healthy, blah 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 blah, and no one really believes in that because they don't feel it. Someone else is telling them, they don't have it inside of them because they didn't discover it yet.
Yeah. So if just finally, somebody's watching this and they're going through a challenge in their life, like you said, it doesn't have to be a deep trauma, right? It can be a block, it can be a challenge, it can be anything. And they're listening to this and thinking, I don't think this is possible. It all sounds like woo-woo rubbish. What would you say to that person who is stuck but doesn't trust that things can change? What would you say? What would the advice you would give them through that experience of that transformation session that we did? What would your advice be to them on the other side of that now?
So I was always that person that would say it's better to regret something that you did, or to regret, or not to regret that you didn't, right? So I'd rather do something and try something and see if that works, and then feel something about it, than just say, hey, it's not gonna work. We don't know. Like, if people would do those things, we will not have a lot of things in the world. I was
Yes.
talking to a client just before our session about Tom Edison and bulb. He was trying to make it and it was not working, it was not working. If he would think, oh, it's not gonna work, we would not have light.
Yeah.
Right. So talking about people who are geniuses, or a lot of science, people who are in science, or people who are discovering something, sometimes they discover things by accident, but because they try, they discover. If they don't try, they will never discover.
Yeah. And I think that's it. I think the question that you've got to ask yourself is, just because you've tried something before and it hasn't worked doesn't mean that something else will. And I always say, what I would say to anybody who's watching this is, you can get a free discovery call with me. You can find out more. There's lots of testimonials on my website. But what I want to do is, because the reason why I do what I do is to try and empower people to change their life. I want to give you the opportunity now to tell people about what you do, how you help people, and how they can connect with you. So if they want to find out more about your journey and what you're doing, that they can connect with you. So it's your turn now to tell them all about what you do and how they can connect with you.
Oh, thank you. This means the world to me, because you're so generous. Normally, people would say, "Hey, it's all about me, 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 me. Connect with me, me, me." So, thank you for being, amazing and sharing your spotlight. So, yeah, I do yoga, meditation, and breath work, and my goal is to actually empower women, but also I'm opening myself to working with men because I'm not being only one way. Is to help people feel better in their body when it comes to yoga and physical movement, but through the breath, and specifically breath work sessions that I'm pushing more to have more sessions in bigger groups. I want to help people to discover themselves through the power of the breath. And my sessions are very powerful and they allow them to really find themselves through the breath. So for example, people who are doing drugs, because I actually had a client recently who was very addicted to drugs, and he was looking for that stimulant or something that's going to stimulate his nervous system or brain or the whole body, and he's really interested in discovering that breathwork can give you a similar experience
Mm.
with the breath, not drugs or any other substances. So that's how powerful the breath is, because we're born with the first and we die with the last. So this is a beautiful journey of self-discovery through the breath. So that's my kind of like the best program that I offer.
And you're amazing at it. I just want to say that you are amazing at it. So how can people connect with you if they want to find out more about the breath work, the meditation, you do amazing shavasana as well in yoga. How can they find out about that? Where can they find you on Instagram? Where can they connect with you to find out what you've done with me, what you're doing yourself, how they can help you? How can they connect with you? What's the best way to get in touch?
So they can check my Instagram, which is at Yelaya, 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 or my website, yogiofnyc.com, or my first and last name, Paulina Podbiello. You can search me on Facebook and DM me directly. So, but website or Instagram, that's the best.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. I think it's really important just to speak to everybody that yes, I want people to come and work with me. Of course I do, but we're all on this journey together. Paulina's amazing at what she does. So please connect with both of us. There's no reason why actually you can't go and do some yoga and some breath work and then come and work with me. I do all of this stuff, and that's how I know Paulina, and that's why I want to just allow her to share this stage as well with me, because she helps me with things and I help her with things, and I'm not going to lie about that. But I know it took some courage for you to come into that space, into my world, and do that really deep work where we go into the shadows and find out what's going on. So I appreciate you and thank you very much for that. And if anybody's watching this, pop a comment in. Tell me what you think. Have you got any questions? And tag myself and Paulina in. But thank you very much for spending time with me. And I will speak to you very, very soon.